Hi, and welcome back to Whitetail Acres Farm. As we're working on growing our herd of cattle, and we've recently acquired a few new ones, that means naturally the manure is starting to pile up as we're constantly cleaning out the pens for them and also around the hay ring. Cow manure is a really highly versatile and natural, cost-effective resource when it comes to fertilizing our fields. Since we grow all of our own hay for our cattle, we're diligent about testing and treating our fields with organic, natural amendments. And with having more head of cattle now, there's no shortage of cow manure to use, and with it being natural, readily available, nutrient-rich organic fertilizer, it really helps boost our soil fertility, enhance the microbial activity, and also improves moisture retention. The only problem is that we need a way to spread it on our 20 plus acres of fields. So we decided to take a little road trip to visit a really nice Amish family who happened to be selling a manure spreader that we were looking for. And that's a Hydro manure spreader, which we're more interested in because it has a front panel that pushes solid waste as well as wet manure towards the rear beaters for a nice, consistent, even spread. And the design also eliminates traditional conveyor chains, which reduces maintenance, it prevents packing, and it just allows for a better controlled application. And what do you know, after we were looking at the manure spreader, the guy there started talking to Ryan about the John Deere 5100E tractor that he was looking to sell as well, and Ryan is always keeping his ears open for a tractor. So he decided to take it for a test drive and was pretty happy with it. It rode nice and it had a nice enclosed cab, which is always a plus. The only downside of it was, well, there was a couple. The fact that it was a little bit older, has over 1,200 hours on it, has DEF, and the tires weren't really in the best shape. So we weren't too sure. It was definitely a great deal and opportunity that he presented us with, but something we need to mull over a little bit more before we make a decision on it. With it being such a nice day, when we got home, we decided that we would take advantage of the nice weather and clean out the chicken coop. The girls have been cooped up inside it, no pun intended, for a little while now with these crazy winter days we've had and all the snow and the brutally cold temperatures. So it really needed a deep clean. So Ryan and Logan decided to start scooping out all of the wood chips and the manure that piled up and start pushing it towards the front of the coop. This then made a nice clear space so I can start spraying down all of the nooks and crannies and the flooring with an all-natural pesticide and cleaner. This is one that's really healthy for the birds, so we don't have to worry about them not going on it right away. It's not harmful to them at all, but it is effective at killing and getting rid of any mites or parasites that could be lurking in the coop here. So it's a good preventative to take care of this periodically, especially in these winter months when the birds are inside quite a bit. Now, what we found to be really helpful in this process is by cleaning out the back of the coop and then putting some fresh wood chips down right away and encouraging the birds to go towards the back of the coop. And with them in the back of the coop, it makes it a lot easier to have the front door open and to start scooping all of the manure and old wood chips out. So I'm spreading out some bags of new pine shavings, and then I'm also going to grab some of their treats. It's just a mix of some cracked corn and like dehydrated worms and things like that. And that really gets their attention and gets them staying in the back of the coop. So I'm not too shy about putting down all of these treats for them. It's quite a bit of treats, but it's not very often that we spoil them like this. And it just really helps with the whole process. When it comes to scooping out all of the manure and old chips from the coop, Ryan brings the skid steer up and rests it right outside the door, so it's a lot faster and easier to just scoop out that pile, fill the bucket, and then he dumps the bucket over by the garden. This keeps it nice and close to both the garden and the orchard because this is actually fantastic to use as another natural fertilizer for the garden, and it doesn't have to break down as long as cattle manure does. So in a few weeks here, when I'm ready to start the garden for the new season, I can immediately use it, and it'll just make our garden and our produce that much healthier. I'm so glad we were able to get this project done today and taking advantage of this warm weather. But with the warm weather, that means all that snow we've gotten has melted, the ground is thawing, and it is just super soft, and the equipment is just tearing up the yard. So it's going to take some TLC to try to get all of this flattened out and to get the grass growing again in the spring. But at least the chickens are happy. You can see them really enjoying themselves in their freshened up coop. We're refilling their food, topping off their water and all of the good stuff in here. And then you can even see some of the chickens started immediately going over to their nest boxes and laying down in there, and probably going to be giving us some eggs very soon. They seem very happy and content, which makes me very happy to see. Well, through the whole process, Ryan continued to think about that tractor that he test drove, and the next thing we knew, he found another tractor. It's also a John Deere 5100E. This one another dealer was selling, and he decided to go take a look at it, so we headed out there, and this tractor looks a little bit nicer. It has a little less hours on it, actually a lot less hours. It has about 1,000 less hours on it, and it has practically new tires, also includes the bucket here. And the only problem is that it's a little bit more money than the other tractor we looked at. So it's really a toss-up. This one also doesn't have DEF, which is a huge plus. So we're trying to weigh out the options right now and not sure which direction to go. After all the time that we spent driving around taking a look at the different tractors and the manure spreader, and then the time we spent outside cleaning out the chicken coop, it was about time that I spent some time indoors and focused on some other things. And one of those things that I've been really trying to focus on lately is perfecting my use of not only maintaining but using sourdough. I have been on a journey over the last few years to reduce the amount of processed foods our family eats, and bread is a huge one. We consume quite a bit of it, so making that shift to sourdough is just a really great idea. And sourdough is so much healthier because it's easier to digest. It also has higher nutrients and lets your body absorb that nutrients more easily. It's also a prebiotic, and it just fuels your overall gut health. So I've been trying really hard to start making all kinds of things with sourdough. And today I am making sourdough garlic knots, which is really easy. I've made this a couple of times now, and our family just loves it. And so I'm making a batch here, and we're going to enjoy that with dinner tonight. I'm really happy with how these sourdough garlic knots turned out. They were nice and warm and fluffy on the inside, perfect, and such a treat for the family. And we can't just stop there with spoiling the family. Our cattle is an extension of the family, and so we decided to come out and also spoil them with some alfalfa. We've especially been trying to focus on these two new cattle. There's The one we call him Whitey because he has an all white face, and then the other one that you can see hiding in the back there, he has a brown patch around his eye, so we call him Patch. And we've been trying to get them to warm up to us. Our one new bull that you can see again hiding in the background here is very standoffish, and he has been since we've gotten him. We've been really trying to spoil him and to try to win him over with some extra affection. And tonight is the very first night that we were able to get him to eat some evening grain with the rest of the herd. So he's finally made it to the adult dinner table, I guess, and he's really enjoying the grain, which makes me really happy to see, because it was really upsetting just seeing him standing off in the background and not being able to come and enjoy himself and enjoy the grain with the rest of the herd. And we decided to also spoil the cats. We had some scraps left over from a previous dinner that we set aside for them, and they really enjoyed it. And then we, of course, had to give some extra love to our heifers here. These girls are so sweet, and we just love them, and we just shower them with some love and attention whenever we can. Now Ryan and I are going to sit back down and discuss the two tractors that we took a look at to try to make a decision here. Ryan did decide that it would make more sense to have an additional tractor, especially with the additional equipment that we have to pull around the property. So it really comes down to which of the two tractors to get. And if you have any thoughts or suggestions, we would love to hear it. So please pop it in the comments, and it may help us with swaying either way here on those two tractors. But we really appreciate you being with us, and we appreciate all of your thoughts and suggestions, and we will see you on the next one.